One topic that is discussed so often is the topic of stacking skills. You know that as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a founder, solopreneur, however you want to call you, building businesses is a multi-skill game. You need more than just one skill. And that's the hard part of trying to figure out which skill you should actually learn and in what order. Let me introduce to you the T-model framework to stack your skills. The T-model was originally created by Henry Ford, is one of the first cars from them that they automated, built in bigger factories. The interesting part of the T-model is that it's from 1925 and it has been the game changer in the motor industry because it started to be produced by a factory. How do we apply this now to stacking skills? It is the same concept that we need to have one base skill that we focus on, and then a bunch of skills that help us actually build that one thing. So for the T model here, we needed to build the whole car. But being the specialized car builder meant you need to figure out how to do the tires, you needed to build the steering wheel, you had the glass windshield, you needed the engine. So there are many parts that if I put in arrows here, we have the tires, we have the engine, we have the windshield, we have the steering wheel. So we have a lot of different parts. And that's the part of stacking skills, because you need to have knowledge in many of them to actually get the one outcome you want to aim for. And that's where the T model is actually, funny enough, also something that is the letter T. So it's like this. Now I'll explain to you how you actually stack the skills like a T. That means you need to have one skill that's going deep and one skill or many skills that go wide. And that's the funny part, where I used to describe myself as a jack of all trades. The problem with that is that often, if you know the saying, it ends with master of none. And that's kind of the issue where I found myself in a lot of times, because I was I can do this, that, this, but I'm actually not a specialist. And that's the debate that has been going on too between the generalist and the expert, or the generalist and the specialist. And so the problem with that is, if you have the expert knows one thing. The generalist, on the other hand, knows... Oh, that's the specialist. The generalist knows an infinite number of things, because he just knows everything a little bit. But the problem is that this one stays shallow while this one goes deep. And so that's kind of the issue. And that's the problem we have if we're talking about being an entrepreneur or starting our own business. Because all of a sudden, we need to sell a product, which, if we want to beat the market, a product is always the result of being a specialist. Here is the product side. Or your service or your whatever coaching program is always a result of being a specialist. You won't have any success with your product if you're not specialized, because general products don't make it in the market. The issue is, though, if you only have a product and you can't market it, then you're not selling it. If you can't build the website or the landing page or write your newsletters, film content, write content, you're not actually selling it. So yes, while it's true that this year is the result of the specialist, you still need to have the width, and that's this part here, of the generalist, because you need to build websites, create content, film, videos, write emails, set up newsletters, design logos, like all those different parts you need to have to actually then sell that product. And that's the difficult thing. And that's why I think and now it's kind of starting to lay out here, why the T framework is so interesting. Because you are building with and you're specializing. Because you need to have the complementary skills to actually make the difference. So this is here where this comes in. And then you're still building the product. And that is the T. So you don't need to know all of these in depth. But if you're starting out, and like that's the idea of the one-person business model, is that you have everything under your control. So that's where all of these turn green. But you also need to actually be able to sell a product. And that's where those turn green. And that's the essence of starting a business, because you need to focus on having the skill. Like that's in the end, this is, do I have another color here? One skill that's deep and 10 that are wide. So that's in the essence, the difference. So how do you go about it? That's a good question, because these here require all, as a base idea, 20 hours of action. I can't say that enough. You need to act 20 hours at least in each of those things to be proficient enough to have them checked off. So practice all of these for 20 hours and you'll be fine. Now, this year is a different one, because this year requires you to spend 10,000 hours. Because you need to master this one, and you can be all right with 20 in the others. So that's the question. How do you find this year the best? And that's the part where it like really becomes interesting, because you start out with all of this building. So how do we go about it? This year leads to a minimal or micro product. Like if you don't have this skill yet, you'll find it by building a micro product. Pick any topic and just power away, because this means if you release a micro product, the difference is that the micro product here is like this. It's just a bit more skill and not yet the full like T stand. It just is like the little bit of skill that is enough to create a micro product in any topic. Then you can start selling it, build a website, build a landing page, create the content for it, and do everything. That definitely gets you over this hump of 20 hours. And then you can be like, okay, so what did I actually enjoy the most of all of this? And that's what you double down on. And that the doubling down is creating the focus and the momentum, and then slowly stacking up here with action, action, action to these 10,000 hours. So that's how I actually went about doing also developing my skill. And I would say my skill is digital marketing strategy. That's what I focus on, especially on educational content, by building a personal media company. That's my skill set. My offer is to use this to grow your business, teach it. And my teaching system is the Fruit Forest framework to start implementing it in your business. This is what I spend right now, probably 6,000 hours plus on. And I have stacked video creation. I have created content. I built website. I wrote emails. I set up my newsletter. I designed my logos. I'm recording this video. I'm editing the videos, publishing it all, automating many things, and all those things. So this list here has like ... There are many other things that you will learn along the way, like copywriting, human psychology, offer creation, many more. But this is like your starting ground, and then you can start picking the most favorite of these and then turning them into your number one skill. If you like this video, I have more to come. I'm so prepared for so much more and ready, and I'm excited to give you more and more free value. So subscribe this channel to not miss the next video coming out. And if you're interested in the personal media company, here's the video. Check that out next, and I'll see you there.